MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. We absolutely do not match today, do we?
We don't. We clash.
I'm like purple dude.
Clash colors today.
What a
It's okay.
big collar you've got there, as the big bad wolf would say.
Yes. I've kind of fought with this thing all morning, but I didn't have time to find something else to
Some
wear.
scarves that you usually. I'm
yeah.
telling you, if a blizzard ever hits, I bet she's got like 5-6 scarves in there and take care of everybody.
I have a door full of scarves.
Do you have one
I
of them?
can't wear them with this haircut though because they hike my hair like out and it's aggravating.
Do y'all remember, like when I used to go to the Scuba United Methodist Church as a little boy there, the ladies used to tote them purses that looked like suitcases. Have you got one of those where you could pull out a shawl or a blanket?
I have. Well, my purse is not as big as the one I used to have. But yeah, I dig everything. I have Hot Wheels cars at the bottom of my.
Every mama needs one.
I have a little bit of everything in my purse. So.
Well, good morning to everybody. As it's a little cool this morning, 20% chance of rain is what we got right now, but don't really worry. That chance is over. It's all to the south of us is where that's going to be happening. Let's show you live radar of what we got this morning. And I'm going to come back and show you the severe weather, the threat that we've got over the weekend. Now, here's what we've got right now on radar. This is live as it comes. It's all here to the south. It's going to start down here on the Louisiana coast, cut across Gulfport. Look at that. If you're down on the coast watching us this morning through Mobile, look at the fog, Candace.
It is.
It's thick.
Goodness.
Now, the closest shower we've got is going to be Wayne County. It's not heavy at all, but as you go on into Columbus, Georgia, Macon, through Augusta, on out through the Carolinas, look at that rain. It's not anywhere near us. But let's talk about what is coming.
Yeah, we still have some warmer temps.
We do. And this is the threat when it comes to Friday through Saturday. Now, this will update, and I expect this to probably shift a little bit, so don't hold this in concrete. But as we look now, we've got from Shreveport through Jackson, Mississippi, just barely clipping Winston County in a level 2. As we zoom in on this, the line is, the number 1 is right through the west side of the county and heading out through the Ralph Morgan Rodeo out that way. I do expect it normally moves down. And I would think that by Saturday morning, Friday night, this will have shifted one way or the other. We'll watch it closely, but the level 2 is going to be to the northwest of Meridian. At this moment, the Meridian area is a 1. And as you hinted, although we're cooler today, be ready for short sleeve weather.
I know. It's crazy. It's like we go from winter to almost summer.
In one day.
Texas is having they're going to have some high temperatures.
Oh, yeah.
Really high.
And just since you brought that up, we'll just go ahead and throw that up there so everybody can just get a bird's eye view of what is to come. Look at that.
It's like 80 to 90
Yeah.
degrees or 80 to 90%.
Yeah. As we look at right here, Mississippi, that's us right there. And this is shifting as it comes across. And we'll see really 80-degree weather Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. Goodness.
Have mercy, as they say.
I just hope we have a cooler Christmas. Let's cross our fingers that it's going to drop on back down.
I don't want to bet the farm on that just yet because it is not showing any signs yet. But we hadn't got there. We're a little over 2 weeks out away from that. So that's the way you plan your day. What a busy day in the Meridian area yesterday. So many things went on. Shortly after we got off the air, I got a call from the Meridian Police Department that they had found skeletal bones in Meridian. And let's go and pull this up where you can get a view of where this was and what happened. As we pull this back up, we go in here. Let's look at the big map here, and then we'll look at that second picture there. This is Highway 45, Highway 39, the bypass.
Yes.
You turn left there, and Johnson Dodge sits up here. This is Russell Drive, where the bridge crosses right there, and this is B Street, Russell Drive. If you were to go in behind Aaron's Furniture to the woods here, this is how police accessed it. Right back here at the creek is where the bones were found. As we look at this next picture, let me show you an aerial view. That's Russell Drive. That's Aaron's. And they had to come in here and cross the railroad tracks to get in here to where the creek goes through, the Sawashi there. It was back in here where the body was.
Sad.
And again, when we say body, it was decomposed. There were not even any clothes on it. This was not, it will be sent off to even to determine the sex, try to determine how the person died. They have no idea. And this will not be next week we get some results back. It will be a long time. But
I know I've seen a lot, and it's so sad to me, but I've seen a lot of homeless
And that's who found
shelters, down through there also. So sad.
And then, here's the question with that. That could have been washed up from that creek. It may not even happen there. We don't know. They'll have to determine. I wouldn't be a good CSI type person. That wouldn't be my job.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness we have people that do those jobs and can do them well. So
that was one of the.
They'll be able to find out.
We
if
do.
It's somebody that's, you never know when it's somebody that's been missing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope it's.
Now they have released the names of two of the people that were arrested for the stabbing and robbery that went on. Let's pull this up and talk about this a second. As we look at this, these have been booked into the Kemper County Jail. We have Tyler Culpepper, who's been charged with armed robbery. His bond is set at $500,000. And Cameron Mays was charged with armed robbery. His bond is set at $500,000. Plus, he gets an extra charge there of aggravated assault. And as we look at their pictures there, this is Cameron, and then this is also going to be Tyler Culpepper. You would think after all this time that they would have a better camera than that.
Yeah, well,
they're working on that. All this funding, you would think, but.
Hopefully they find the third assailant.
And again, if you were going, okay, what are y'all talking about? A police officer was off duty, headed home, and stumbled upon this, a man getting robbed. He was stabbed 3 times. These 2 are a part of it. There's still one more at large, and they are the hunt is on for him.
So they were caught in Kemper County?
No. They were transferred. They were arrested here in the prison is in Kemper County.
Yes.
That's where they were booked into. You either go to the Lauderdale County or the big jail.
Okay.
Bunch of folks to house up there. Yeah. Our next story is one of the saddest that we will report this week. It doesn't really get any sadder than this at this point. But as we learned yesterday, I started getting texts of, hey, what's going on Highway 15? So I made a couple phone calls and soon found out there had been a wreck. This was just south of the Philadelphia city limits, where I want to say that's, let's pull this up where we can take a look as we pull this picture up. It was Highway 15, County Road 438, just south of there, right along in there is where the wreck happened. And as you'll look at this picture, look how far the cars go.
Goodness.
Now, what happened, it was a 20-year-old girl with 2 people in the car with her. I don't know where they were headed, but she's going north toward Philadelphia on that 2-lane road. Somehow or another runs off the road on the left side of the road, loses control, and hits a tree. The car spins around and ends back up facing north. The driver is killed. She was 20 years old. And the 2 occupants of the car, I think, were checked out, but they're going to be okay. So someone has lost their daughter. As
sad.
Of this, it is
so sad. I have 2 daughters of my own and 2 sons, and I have a stepson. I have 3 sons, and I am just
or to start your show called My 3 Sons.
I'm always, so worried. As a parent, you worry all the time when they get behind the wheel of a car, and
you do.
I can't imagine what those parents are going through.
And we give a kudos to the Meridian Police Department for catching a bad guy.
Yes.
And as we go to this next picture, just to show you kind of what went down, this is it. A U-Haul van was stolen from U-Haul. Thought they could get, if I'm a thief, would I really take a U-Haul that has it written all over the side?
Yeah.
That says U-Haul.
It's not real smart.
Well, they did, and they were apprehended, and it's been returned to U-Haul, thank goodness. But not the sharpest knife in the drawer there to do something to that
Kind of like
effect.
when they stole the Salvation Army vehicle, but has it ever been found?
Not to my knowledge.
You would think. I guess they must have painted over it or something. I don't know.
And then stopped the old girl that was driving it.
Yeah, in Mobile, wasn't it?
Yeah, way off as she was making her escape there. We had some people that also had a wreck yesterday. You'd have to think it'd almost have to hurt you to hit a fire hydrant, but they went ahead and just jumped right up on top of it there in a truck. They went ahead and walked away and left it there. Water was going everywhere. I kept getting texts from people in the neighborhood going, who's going to come turn the water off?
Yeah.
The fire department showed up, and they whipped out them handy tools there as soon as they pried the truck off of it and got it turned off so every life could get back to normal. Yes. We had lots of just fender benders throughout the area. Here's one that we go, oh, thank goodness nothing bad happened. One of our Lauderdale County Sheriff's deputies were on the way to a call of an unknown problem. A call came in and said, I need help. They were rushing to get there and had a wreck on the way there at Van Zyverden Road yesterday afternoon where it meets La Zilla. And he's okay. I think a light pole tried to go whoop upside the car.
Well, the roads are slick.
Yep.
Right? They're still today. You have to be extra careful. So
It was one of the busiest day of wrecks around. And if you need to see Chet, something happened to you, call him. We'll talk about Chet here in a little bit. Deer were everywhere yesterday. Now, here's the next story that happened last night. This was, right around 10-ish, 9, in the 9 o'clock hour. A report came into the Meridian Police Department that someone heard shots. The Meridian Police Department responded, and this is what we find out. 2 homes were hit by bullets. This is going to be roughly where Fire Station number 1 is and where the Lima office is. Right directly behind it is where all this happened. 2 homes were hit and also a car. The Meridian Police Department did recover shell casings. They'll check those for fingerprints against anybody that's in the system.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day this will stop. But it's been rampant in that area there of gunshots fired. But if there is a silver lining to that, is no one was hurt. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness no one was hurt. But this is getting to be just a daily thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it really has gotten to be a daily thing. And, people, as we heard the other day, a guy just working on some area, in an area, just got hit by a stray bullet. I mean, he wasn't involved in any kind of altercation. He was just working.
Right.
Minding his own business. So you kind of don't feel like you're safe really anywhere.
That's right. Just had a question about what happened with the car yesterday on Valley Road. It ran off the road. It was a single car accident. Several agencies went out and they had to winch it out. I think the person that was driving it's okay, but it was an ordeal to get the car out of it. And again, the roads were wet. And I can't tell you about all these deer that just jumped up and whooped up on cars. I'm telling you, it was everywhere.
The deer are definitely moving. Yeah, they're definitely out and about for sure.
One of these stories, and I know his face. I just don't know him from. I couldn't say, oh yeah, he's in that movie such and such. As we pull this up, actor Nick Cannon has lost his 5-year-old son who had brain cancer. So we pass along condolences to that family. Again, I just know his face. I can't put him to a movie. I'd have to Google that.
Wasn't he? Isn't he Beyonce? Was it not Beyonce? Who was the other girl? Mariah Carey. Wasn't he dating her? I think he was.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know all that kind of stuff. I know who she is.
Yeah, I think at one time, I think they were a thing. So.
Yeah, I never was able to keep up with who's dating who and whose car is parked next door. Charlie, Paget had mentioned, I did get a report of a wreck there on 493 yesterday afternoon, but I could not find anybody to give me details from the Sheriff's Department. I placed a call. I didn't get a call back on that, but I do know that there was a wreck on 493 yesterday afternoon, a single car accident, and is posting there that it did tested the strength of an old oak tree. I'm going to say the oak tree won.
Yeah. Usually those big old oak trees do win,
Have you ever been driving and lost control in the rain?
Yes, I have.
It is
scary.
It's slow motion.
Yeah, it is. It's scary, though. I mean, like the back end of your car will spin around, before you know it. If you accelerate, it's just so important to remember not to accelerate, if you're losing control, because it's just going to make it even worse. Or just slam on brakes when the roads are slick, because,
it's going to turn out bad.
That's going to mess you up, too. So.
Go see my friend Mike Street. He'll teach you how to drive in those situations like that. It's a tough thing there.
Yeah.
So that's some of the things that went on in and around the area. And I do appreciate everybody that sends us messages. If you encounter something like this during the day, send us a note, send us a picture so we can get on this and get all the details for everybody so they'll know. Be careful there. And as we talk about deer, our friend Chet's Paint and Body is there to put it back.
Yes, they are. You can depend on them for sure.
He's known on Big Buck for quite a while there. It puts a lot of biscuits and gravy on the table for him there, and it's going to happen to you at some point during your life. And when it does, go visit the professionals, the people that care about your car honest people like you that get up, some great employees there that keep this going, and they have a quality that they have to meet, and that's what they do every single day to make sure that your car is put back, because they understand your car is like the second biggest investment in your life nowadays.
Yes.
They're expensive. No matter if it's a small scratch on your door like that, where the door got smashed, or a deer, or maybe a pickup truck backed over the top of your Mustang, they can put it back. Pretty simple there. Aluminum beds, they can do that also. No matter what it is, they put it back to the way it was. They've got a paint booth that's unmatchable there to keep all of that, what do you call it?
Dust.
Dust. Yeah, that's my auto mechanic. Debris.
Dust and debris.
It's not going to get in your paint when they shut the doors on those. See them. It's Chet's Paint and Body for the most honest folks that you'll bump into.
Yes.
They'll process your insurance work for you. Do all of that.
Yeah, they'll help with your rental cars too. If you need to get a rental car, they work with them. And you really can depend on these people. They're friendly, and they'll get right to you.
737-2961 is the number to call. Chet's Paint and Body.
I've lived in Mississippi my entire life. My earliest memories are right here in Jackson. This used to be my dad's clothing store. I worked here growing up. And this is my first office right out of law school. I know this area, these roads, these people. The people of Mississippi are my people. So when someone from here comes to me for help, I take that personally. Always have and always will. One call, that's all.
Well, Angie just said there she totaled her car from a deer. I guess that could happen.
Yeah. I used to have an Expedition. I took the whole front off hitting a deer one time. Hit the radiator. Everything had to be replaced. I think I knocked half the rack and a leg off of the deer. It was not good.
It was not. Charlie said it's the longest 30 seconds of your life when you lose control of your car. And I got to agree with that. It does happen. All right, we got a special guest that we're fixing to put some flashlights in her face and make her fess up with everything that's going on out at MCC. And we welcome our special guest, Wendy Alsobrook. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are y'all?
First of all, have you gotten your tree up and got all your presents done for everybody out in the family?
My tree is up. Half of my presents are wrapped. The other half are in a special hiding place. I won't be saying that, so nobody will find them.
Pull that mic just a little bit closer to you there so we can hear you. Yeah, I think we'll be able to hear you a little better now.
Okay.
So you got a little bit wrapped. You're coming about it?
I am.
So what do you want for Christmas? Let's pretend I'm Santa Claus over here as I put you here and you tell me what you want.
I have no idea. You know, I usually just get what I want during the year. So when it comes to Christmas, I'm just like, I pretty much get what I want when I see it. So,
it wasn't that case of pretzels with the little white stuff on top of it? That's what I heard you wanted.
Yeah, that's it. I love those.
It is good stuff. Wendy, what do you do at MCC? Let's start there.
Well, I teach the healthcare assistant program. And I have another teacher that works with me. She is actually the program coordinator. We are both nurses. We both have worked in the long-term care facilities around Meridian for many years, and this is my 11th year at MCC, and this is her, I believe, 17th year.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Time flies.
So y'all offer, if you're looking for a career, that's what you're here to talk about.
Yes.
So give me an example of coming out. What could you do, and what's it involve?
So the healthcare assistant program is an entry-level position. When they're done with the program, they can test to be a certified nurse assistant. And there are over 10 nursing homes in our local area, 2 major hospitals, and a plethora of clinics, hospice agencies, and home health care agencies. And all of those places hire certified nurse assistants, and they're all in desperate need for them. So, you know, it's a 1-semester program. If you need a job, it is a good place to start. You can come. We start January the 10th. They will graduate May the 6th.
Well, that's not long
at all. And then
they
can pretty much go to work as soon as they pass their certification, which is usually within 2 weeks of graduation.
So, like right now it's December. You're going to start that in January. What's the cutoff to go, okay, I want to do that? When do you have to have the information into y'all to be able to take the class?
Well, we will accept students up until that Wednesday, which is the 12th. And after that, we've really done so much, it's hard to bring another student in then.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
from now until January the 12th.
That's you've got roughly a month there, because today is the 8th. Yeah, about a month there.
That's right.
Now, you also mentioned it before we went on. Me and you were going back and forth here. Y'all got some programs that probably a lot of folks just don't know about. Give me some more explanations of what y'all got.
Well, normally to be accepted to the college as a student, you have to have your high school equivalency or a high school diploma. And the high school equivalency is what we used to call GED, but it's not called GED anymore.
It's still got a name change.
Right. It's got a name change, a little upgrade. So,
right.
But there is a program called My Best at MCC where there are certain, like HCA or healthcare assistant is one of the classes they can take dually while they're enrolled to get their GED or HSE at the same time. So, if you think, well, I don't have a GED, I didn't graduate from high school, I can't go to college. You can come back. Also, there are some grants through workforce development that can help people with things like daycare, maybe gas money. I don't know all the details on those grants, but I can put people in touch with the person that does and can help them apply for it and see if they qualify.
And Lynn, sweet, there's so many people in that program that will help you with that. That is a get help with childcare gas.
That's a great thing, because a lot of people feel stuck. They feel like, oh, how am I going to do this? I have a child that
That's right. And we have a few every semester. We have a few. I'm not going to say older because I fall in that category, but we have a few people that have been out of high school for good many years that never went to college, and they feel like they wouldn't be successful. They come back and they are successful. We have a lady this semester who is in her 40s. She never went to college. Her daughter came through our program and talked her into coming. I told her the other day she's going to be graduating with highest honors, and she started crying.
Oh, that is sweet.
Because she did not think she could do it, but she could, and she can go further than what our program.
What a lot of people don't realize, and when I traveled around the United States and had to do that for a living, the people that I bumped into, you would be shocked as to how many people that, for whatever reason, have to drop out of high school to help with their families, to provide money to the family because someone, the mom or dad loses their life and they have to step up and be the adult. And then years later you go, hey, I'd like to go back and do a little bit more. It's just shocking. It's touching also, as you just pointed out.
Well,
it's called Don't Judge a Book by the Cover, isn't it?
That's exactly right. And, I did not go straight to college out of high school. I went and then I decided
went to Panama. Would you go somewhere like that?
And then I got married. I had a baby. And, then I realized I can't live on what I'm making. So I went back, and I always tell my students, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, because I'm 47, and I know I've said it myself, I'm too old to start at something new. And I don't think we are. I mean, you're never too old, I don't think, to start something new.
I don't think so either. And I think,
apparently neither one of y'all tried to get out in the floorboard of a 1986 Cadillac. Well, I'm too old for that.
But I think a lot of people are in that boat. They've raised their kids, and some people were stay-at-home moms, and they raised their kids, and they're like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
And they want to start something new like that. I think this is a great thing.
Yeah, and, if they're not sure if they want to go into nursing and they don't want to invest a whole year or 2 years to go through the LPN program or the associate degree nursing program, this is a good place for them to come. It's one semester. They'll get a really good knowledge of what that healthcare field is going to look like for them. And they may decide, no, I don't want to invest those 2 years in nursing school, or yes, this is absolutely what I want to do. And, it's just, 4 months. 4 months is really a drop in the bucket.
That is not.
That's right.
That really is for the rest of your life. It's a game changer.
It is, and we even have a student that came through our program a few years ago. She's actually a nurse practitioner practicing in Meridian now. So she started as a CNA in the healthcare assistant program, and then went on to be in the ADN program, and went on to be a nurse practitioner.
Now,
that's great.
All right, if you're watching, you go, all right, I want to do that. What do you do next? Who do you call? What do you do?
Well, you can call 1-800-MCC-1. You can ask for Wendy Alsobrooks or Christy Etheridge. We can get you in touch with whoever else you need to talk to. We can give you all the information you need about our program. We can get you to the advisor if you need to take your acuplacer. If you've never had an ACT, you have to have a 15 on the ACT to get in our program. But if you haven't had that, you can take the acuplacer at MCC. You have to have a 210. The first time you take it, it's free.
Yeah.
If you have to retest, it's $10 for a retest.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. We normally don't have anybody that has to retest. So if you think, well, I hadn't had the ACT, you can take the acupuncture.
She ain't had me, has she?
We can get you in touch with the right person to do that. So, just call 1-800-MCC-1, ask for Christy Etheridge or Wendy Alsobrooks. We'd be glad to help you. You can also go to the website, which is www.meridiancc.edu. And there is a place on there that says prospective students. You can look at all the different programs that we have to offer.
Well, hang close. Don't go anywhere. We got some more questions coming up with you.
Okay.
We'll ask you some Christmas stuff. That's right around the corner. First off, we got to say a huge good luck from Meridian, Mississippi, as our Miss Mississippi has boarded an aeroplane this morning in Jackson, Mississippi, as she's headed off to represent us in the Miss America pageant. Isn't that
so
sweet?
Exciting. I know she's excited.
She's
her
such a
family.
sweet girl.
She is.
I've been in the store that her mom has, and
right.
She's been in there several times. Working with her mom. She's really sweet. Yeah.
We wish her luck.
Beautiful girl.
I've got to ask Dad there, Barry, what night it is. Let's see here. Is it in the comments there? It's this weekend, the televised thing.
Okay.
I forget what time.
So be sure to watch.
Yeah. So
She's very talented. She's. I hope she does very well. I think she will.
So, plane will be landing there, and she'll be representing us, and she does have hospitality, just tons of it. So she's going to represent us well in the state of Mississippi. I have never been, and I watch the folks that come check your water meter, the power guy. The power guys are getting it better these days. They're installing meters, to where it goes back to the business, and they don't have to get out.
Yeah.
But Vicksburg, Mississippi has taken a step. Think about this if you've done this for a living. Even the old garbage guy and mailman at FedEx get chased by the dogs trying to give you a package.
One of the girls I work with, his husband works for UPS, and he's gotten chased a couple times by dogs.
It'll put you on top of a car.
And you wonder why they just throw them up there. That's not a good thing. I'm not saying that's great. But.
Vicksburg, Mississippi has taken it a step further and going, we ain't doing this no more.
Yeah.
We've been put on top of the truck too many times. They are implementing a $300 fine if the dog chases the water guy. And then they're going to confiscate your dog for a few days there and charge you $27 a day until you come pay and take care of your dog.
Well, if you know you're going to get a package, if you know one's coming any day, you should keep your dogs, especially if they're dogs that chase people or cars.
And the more I read into this, I think that they've got certain houses that they know that they ain't going to be able to get out. Mm-hmm. It's almost like they don't feed the dog for 3 or 4 days when they know a bill's coming due. Get him. As a kid, they used to hire somebody to come by and be mean to him dressed as the mailman so he wouldn't get out.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
But that's what's happening there in Vicksburg. Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I don't know if y'all have heard this. Citizens National Bank was robbed on December the 1st. No. On Monday afternoon, they caught the old boy that had done the crime. He is behind bars now. That's a good thing.
I'm glad they caught him.
57 years old. Robbing a bank. There's cameras everywhere. This is not Jesse James days.
That's what I was going to say. I can't believe people in this day and time think that they're going to. I guess you could get away with it, but it's highly unlikely that you're going to get away with it with all the cameras.
Especially during broad daylight.
Yeah.
You would have to be clever, and I don't think that was clever at all. What was it, Ocean's 11, where they drilled in from behind it and all that kind of stuff? But
professional.
He just walked on in with a note and said, hey. He get him a free meal there for a few years now. He's going to be rooming with somebody named Earl.
Lots of friends, probably.
Or Earl, you and him. Hope y'all don't share the same soap. Good luck to you there. Now, as I read this next story, it really does make me go, I'm not sure where this is leading. It's because it's different. And I don't know enough about this, but they say Ron DeSantis, and again, I haven't verified, but this is the news story that says Ron DeSantis, or DeSantis, however you want to pronounce it, is pitching a plan to where he wants to build Florida's own army that is not attached to the federal government like the National Guard. He's asking for $3.5 million. I don't think it takes a rocket science to add up what that might mean. I got to read more into this to verify this, but this is the headline that I've read. I saw it yesterday, and then we had so many things going on yesterday, I didn't get to dig deeper into the story. But that is way
why
different.
do you think he would do something like that? I mean, why?
I mean, think about it. I'm not saying it out loud, but think about that, Candace. It's not attached to the federal government. They would do what the state asked them to do, not the federal government.
Well, I understand that.
The National Guard has to do with the federal government because they're funded.
Well, there's been so many instances where they have just shipped people who are illegal, people into their country, into their state, without even telling the state government over there,
this would protect Florida's borders.
Yeah.
All the way around the state.
Yeah.
And again, I'll read more into this because that is a interesting story.
Well, when you don't feel like you're protected by the federal government, I guess you have to go to other measures.
Yeah.
So,
Ron's pretty smart down there. Could other states follow that?
I wonder if he'll get the money.
That's a good question. It's not a ton of money.
And where would it come from? Who would give him that, grant him that money?
It would be the state budget somewhere. They'd have to take it away from somewhere else. Okay. Boy, I sure wish he'd call in. We could do an interview with him and go, what's up with this? Yesterday, if you were a big Amazon, and this also affects things that Apple provides tied in through Amazon, but they went down yesterday. It was a blackout. Areas across the United States. That's pretty serious. There's 7 hours. This affected Alexa, the Ring doorbell. So if you had a Ring doorbell, it wasn't working yesterday.
I wondered why last night my Alexa was just lit up. It just wouldn't do anything. We asked it several questions. No, it wouldn't do anything. So I had to unplug it, reset it.
Yeah, that was what it was. Yeah. You ever ask it who's the fairest on the wall?
No, I don't.
Oh, come on. Have some fun with it.
It's my kitchen timer. That's basically what it is. I'm sure they listen in to everything. What did I do right there?
I don't know. I do have one that I've got set up for my mom that goes, hey, Lucille, it's time to go take your medication. You better get up. And
really?
It's set to do that several times a day. Mm-hmm. I don't think she pays Alexa any mind.
Oh,
she just does what she wants to do.
That would kind of freak me out. Hey, Candace.
Me too.
But a lot of crashes there. That's what went on yesterday with that. So we've got more stories coming up in a few moments. That's some of the headlines that's going on around America right now. We'll be back with more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace here in just a few moments.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. Denise says she was trying to install a doorbell ring, and she finds out now why it didn't work. Mm-hmm. That's what happened yesterday there.
Karen Palmer asked how my son was doing. It seems like this morning he's sleeping. He's not running any fever. So
that's good.
This morning. But hopefully today will be a better day, I hope.
Hey, just a quick question, because I don't know much about ladies and getting dressed and all that stuff. Do you ever get lipstick up there on the upper part of your lip? Because it's outlined real good there in the camera I was looking at.
No, this is my actual line of my lips. Now, I do know people who exaggerate the line of their lips.
No, what do you mean exaggerate?
They paint it above the line to make their lip look bigger.
You think I can do that?
I don't do that, but yeah, we could. Your mustache might get in the way, but...
Let's go back and take a stroll down memory lane and see if you remember anything that happened upon this day. You might do this. Now, as a kid, he was funny. I remember it very well. Who remembers Sammy Davis Jr.? He was born on this date back in 1925.
He and Dean Martin were a pair.
The Rat Pack.
Mm-hmm.
part of that there. And I couldn't name any movie that Sammy Davis Jr. was in, but they were funny. I do remember that.
He was a guest on a lot of different shows.
Sure was. I even think he made it to the big show back in the day, Fred Sanford.
Probably so. I'm sure he did. Yeah.
Boy, I love that. Ola Mott was funny.
Oh yeah, I love all the old shows. I could sit and watch them all day.
Now, I know a lot of people know this guy, but this was not my type of music. I didn't know. Who remembers a group called The Doors? This guy, and I think he died real young. Jim Morrison was born on this date. So there you go. Wendy, did you know Jim Morrison? Did you know him?
I have heard of him, but I mean,
sort of like me, don't know much about it.
I don't know. I would have to know a song that they did.
The Doors.
The Doors. I know the Doors, but I don't know any of their music off the top of my head.
That was back in the day where they probably did some.
Maybe some drugs?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The songs were kind of like, out there, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever sang Mamas Don't Let Your Boys Grow Up to Be Cowboys. I really don't think that hit it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That wasn't his genre of music.
Let's see. 1947. I don't care who you are, where you are in this world, you know who this fella is. You might not know him personally, but you know the group. My Lord, I was born a rambling man. Greg Allman was born on this date in 1947, and he had longer hair than his wife did.
Is he still living?
I think so.
He would be 74.
I don't want to bet the farm on that either.
Close to 75.
He may not be. I'm not. There's a lot of music lovers that would know that. Angie says, "Come and baby, light my fire." Was
Come
the
on,
name.
baby, light my fire. You know that song now. That's the Doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
You would if you heard it.
You would if you heard it. Yeah, you would.
No, I promise y'all. It says he died at 20. Bill says he died at 27. Jim Morrison did.
Okay.
Whoa! Every one of them that becomes Greg is dead too. Bill said.
Okay.
But those stars back in the day, they'd done so many drugs. They just most of them didn't make it.
I know it was some of those songs though. You just kind of when you listen to them now, you're like, what in the world were they doing?
Puff the Magic.
when they wrote these songs, like, what does this even mean?
Do you remember where you were when somebody told you that Puff the Magic Dragon was not about a cartoon character?
I didn't even know that until I watched that movie. Have y'all ever seen that movie, Meet the Fockers? Have you ever?
Yes, that's funny.
That is the funniest movie, but that's where I saw that. So anyway.
Yeah, boy, Puff. It ain't what you thought it was.
No, I didn't
okay,
know that.
this is how television has evolved to where it is today. Things are so different. Even the headlines I'm starting to see now, to where they put cuss words in headlines in major news networks.
Yeah.
But back in 1952, you had a bedroom here, you had a bedroom here, and if they happened to be in the same bedroom. If you remember Dick Van Dyke, they had separate beds. They slept separately.
Right.
Lucy went and broke the standard of the day in 1952 on this date and was the first person to acknowledge pregnancy on television. That was her, 1952.
And I think about, like, what did they tell the children? I mean, did they just appeared with a baby and they didn't really, because I know they didn't really, like, announce that mom's pregnant with another baby.
It is a stork, right, that brings it?
Yeah.
That's what I've been thinking since I was told that years ago.
But yeah, that was it was a hush hush thing, back a long time ago for people to even tell their other children that mama was having another baby. I mean,
Yeah, they didn't say pregnancy.
No.
I think my mom said that they would say she was with child.
I've heard that term.
Or expecting maybe, but she said never would they say, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And
nowadays we're like,
it was scandalous.
Having the other children like feel the baby move in your stomach and announcing, oh yeah,
or in the birth room. I mean,
right.
in the labor and delivery room.
Yes.
Yeah. Then watch I Love Lucy and go sit down and watch one episode of Jellystone and see where you are, and you go, what just happened?
Yeah.
It's good, but boy, does it cross some lines there.
It does.
1953, and I can't name a movie this girl's been in, but I know her. I know her face because I can spot her on all those shows and go, I know her. Kim Basinger was born on this date. What was it that she was in?
Wasn't she in Blind Date?
Oh, I think
was
so.
that the movie she was in with Bruce Willis?
That was funny.
Was that the movie, or maybe that's not
I think
it?
you are right.
Okay.
Where he got shot at.
Yeah.
She had alcohol.
Movies where he didn't get shot at.
He had to dance.
I don't know in real life if he ever got shot at.
But that's called, if you go out on a blind date and somebody tells you don't give the old girl some alcohol.
Yeah, she got drunk.
And it got bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was not a
Torp his car.
keep it together drinker.
Somebody said Batman. She was in Batman.
Yeah, she was.
The leg cross. No, that wasn't the leg cross, was it?
Yeah, she was married to Alec Baldwin and has 2 daughters, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
By Alec Baldwin.
She ought to get an award just for being married to that meanie.
I think he called one of the daughters a pig one time, like over the phone, left a message along.
You're
because it was in the
right.
news, you know, it was a big news story. Yeah.
Now, I've never heard it put this way. Megan Scavoy said that's called the 29 Club, the 27 Club of all these stars that have passed away at the early age of 27. I did not know that. Let's see what else happened today. I remember meeting this guy. Their first song come out. I was backstage at the Temple Theater, and I bumped into him around the curtain. Who remembers Shenandoah? Church on the Cumberland Road, Sunday in the South. Marty Raybon celebrates a birthday today. 1959 was when he was born. And you want to talk about a Christian fella that is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. That's him.
Okay.
Does a lot of gospel stuff nowadays.
I remember Shenandoah, though. Had some good music.
If I had 2 dozen roses, would it change your mind? I bet he's rethought that. 1976, I remember seeing this because at 7 years old, I'd never seen a big poster where the dude didn't have a shirt on. And I was like, what's going on up on that?
Yeah.
And then we would find out it had Barbara Streisand with it, and the movie A Star is Born was released. They tried a remake of this not long ago, but you can't hold a candle to Chris Christopherson. He was like the man.
I know. I used to love watching him when I was younger. Well, I was little. I mean, but I remember thinking, oh, he's so handsome. You know,
A lot of women thought that.
Yeah. And I don't know. I never watched that movie though.
Yeah, because it had her in it.
Yeah.
But we all sat back and watched him as Rubber Duck as he took on being in Convoy, one of the greatest movies ever made. But that was big, but it just wasn't. It wasn't Mississippi. It wasn't Mississippi-fied. Let me say it that way.
Didn't he sing too?
Oh yeah, he's big. Why me, Lord? What did I ever do to even deserve? One of the greatest songwriters that ever take the ribbon from your hair.
Yeah.
Sammy Smith's song. Johnny Cash, of course, how he got his start, landing the helicopter in his yard with Sunday Morning coming down. Chris is like it when it comes to a songwriter. He's forgotten more than most will ever learn. He's it. Also 1976, and you still listen to this song and you scratch your head and go,
I'm trying to figure out what it means,
Yeah,
what it's
what
about.
are they talking about?
That's another one of those.
Here it is, Hotel California. The album was released from the Eagles. And little did we know behind the scenes, they didn't really like each other.
I did not know that.
They would fight, they would break up, and they'd get back together, and then again come together at the very end there. But Hotel California, when did you, what's your interpretation of that? Somebody high as a Georgia
trip.
pine?
Yeah.
An acid trip.
You can check in, but you can never leave.
Yep.
Maybe that means you're addicted to drugs.
Possibly.
What they say about
Stealing knives.
Yeah, but you just
Yep.
can't kill the beast.
And that really may be the whole meaning of it. I don't know that
Fighting addiction, maybe. Or,
Has there
Addiction.
ever been a interview to where they really broke that down and told you what they meant? I'd like to know.
I don't know, but I like the song. But,
Yeah.
if you listen to the lyrics, I mean,
yeah,
they're kind of far out there.
it is far out there. But I love the Eagles. I love all. the
Yeah, I do
music.
too.
I do too.
But
Okay.
this was one of those songs where you just had to really listen to it over and over and over and just kind of dissect it to like.
Now, the
figure
song
out
that
what-
I never had to have dissected was when they broke out with Your Lying Eyes. Boy, that didn't paint a picture.
You can't hide
dog.
your lying eyes.
She was sitting at the bar cheating on the old man back at the house. Bill Reinhart tells us, I didn't know this about A Star is Born. They were originally going to use Elvis. Did not know that. So
Neither.
thanks for that tidbit of information. 1980, you would wake up, and later that afternoon, we would find out that this gentleman was shot and killed right outside of his apartment. It's been talked about. 1980 is when this happened. The guy got his autograph earlier in the day. They went somewhere, come back, and he shot him, and he died.
You know, I was at my mother's not long ago, and my stepfather that passed away years ago he collected all these old albums, and we found the album,
Imagine.
the Beatles, like one of the original albums, and it was like in perfect condition. And then he had an article of when John Lennon died, the newspaper clipping of the day he died, and it was in the album cover. It was really neat to find all that.
I listened to that Imagine song one time, and I thought, yeah, that's drug induced, and I want to know about my business. Never did get that. Wasn't my kind of thing. 1982, one of the greatest that ever played in country music, one of the songwriters, and El Paso City. Who has not been touched by those songs, as we learned that Marty Robbins passed away on this day. Why Stewart came out of my mouth, I don't know. But Marty, one of the first country music singers ever to take it from country music and also do NASCAR. He was a driver as well. Done real well at it. And who doesn't remember Blazing Saddles? It was funny. Every old Western you watched, this guy was in it. A guy by the name of Slim Pickens passed away on this date back in 83. I really liked him.
Yeah.
That was funny. I don't care who you are. As we go on with things that happened, 1989, this would be our first introduction. Major song, Blue Blooded Woman was the first release, and then when this came out, you stopped and go, I kind of like that. Here in the real world,
That's
cowboys don't cry and
really
heroes never die.
Yeah, that was a really good song.
So Alan Jackson had that out. He's a legend now. As we look at this would change your life and take your job away from you. It would be the greatest mistake that ever happened to America. This is the guy that done it, Bill Clinton. He signed those papers on this day to NAFTA, and you would start noticing jobs going away from Stonewall, Mississippi, Meridian, Mississippi, as they closed factories because of NAFTA and gave our jobs to other countries. I don't care how you slice it, how you try to powder that up. That's what happened, and it's the mess that we're in.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
NAFTA? Yeah.
Talking about, giving our jobs to other countries. That sounds familiar.
That's how it all started, and why we can't even have a Q-tip here is because of that signature right there. Make no mistake. The last thing in our little down memory lane was 2016, one of the greats that pioneered this. John Glenn passed away on this date back in 2016. Yeah, I've never had that urge to want to go walk around in space and do anything like that. Y'all can have my share of that.
I'm going to keep my feet right here on the ground.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Amen.
So that's a trip down it. I hope it jogged your memory and you remember something that happened on this day. And you go, maybe brought a smile to your face. I hope so. Let's talk about something else that would bring a smile to your face, and that's our friends over Snowden Company. Well, what they do is they give you a home, whether it's your very first home, your second home, your forever home, or your retirement home. Whatever that case is, they got at least 3 of their folks that were chosen by you to be the top there in the Meridian Choice Awards. You voted for them. And when it comes to that house, whether it's your dream home that you're looking for or selling your home, they are the best of the best. And Amanda's really good at this. Skill negotiation, she'll work through this. Precision, attention to detail in every which way because, well, it's your livelihood. It's what you've worked hard for all of your home when you sell it. And they're going to do that. Homes in Scuba, Mississippi, along with this gorgeous home here in the Meridian area, and that's a big home there. They take care of it. Lauderdale, through Kemper, all of this area, over to Jackson, Mississippi. Look at that one. That's gorgeous there. You could even have your mother-in-law live with you in that one.
That was a very large.
They'll even throw in that playground set around back, I bet. Make them an offer there. See them today at Snowden Real Estate. You can visit them online at snowdenrealestate.com. Pick you out a pond by appointment on Saturday. They're open till 5 today, closed on Sunday. Maybe you need a new double wide. Whatever it is, land all of it together or just land by itself. They do that at Snowden Company Real Estate. See her. See why so many people choose Snowden. That's it. 453-3937 or drop in and visit them at Poplar Springs Drive here in Meridian.
I'm JC from Starkville, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $200,000.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. As we remember January 6th of, I don't think we'll ever really be told the truth about all that went on, but we do remember the chick because it's been everywhere. And I call her the chick because it's the lady realtor that got on the airplane and flew.
Right.
They tried to make an example out of her. Well, she's going to prison. She's going to get 4 months in the pokey there. But 60 days, it's 2 months. I made a mathematical error there.
Yeah.
But she says she plans on losing 30 pounds. Now, what she really thinks is that she's going to be doing workout. What she's really going to happen after you get to prison, you're going to be running from the bad guys because they're going to be chasing you. That's how you're really going to lose that weight.
Yeah, I guess she thinks she's going to like a resort or something.
Doesn't happen that way. You don't want to go take a shower with all the other people. Mm-hmm. Just telling you. Or be left alone in the lunchroom or the utility room sweeping, because I've seen this on TV and movies so many times. They jump you.
Goodness.
You will be hiding.
It'd be like Medea. Remember that? The Medea goes to jail?
Yeah.
Did y'all ever see that? When they're in the laundry room.
Now, I have a real
puts
life...
that old girl in the laundry basket head first.
I have a real life story. A personal friend that went to jail, who might have had a little bit too much to drink, and they sent him on to the big house. Yeah. And, he got whooped every day of his life. So he soon figured out that the only way to be protected was, to get thrown in lockup in solitary, to where you were by yourself. And he tried to do something mean for 2 years every day so he could be put by himself. This is not going to be a joyride, is all I'm saying.
Goodness.
I've only passed by the jailhouse. I don't even want to go for a tour.
I'm going to just kind of step out there and say,
with
her blonde hair, she'll probably have some dark rates when she gets out there.
Yeah. This is no picnic girl. Yeah. All right, let's talk about this. I'm going to have Chris Reed, former police chief Meridian, come talk with us again about all of this. As the holidays come, the thieves they're not all dumb. Right. There's somebody at the top of the food chain that tells the people out there what to do.
Well, there's obviously people that make a living doing it.
Correct.
I mean, that's their career. They're career criminals.
Right. Maybe you track your spouse, maybe you track your children by their phone, but they've got a device now that Apple makes that you attach to a product. If you lose your phone, you can track it. Well, criminals have caught on that if they slip up to your car while you're at a fancy place eating, put it behind the gas cap, underneath the car, underneath the trailer hitch, it will follow you home, and then after you get home, they come steal your car from your house. And that is the latest trend. They've caught like 5 people so far doing this.
Well, how do you avoid that? Is there any way to avoid it?
Don't know the answer.
That's scary.
It is scary.
It is, but that is it. That's coming. And they're expecting this to be a nationwide problem before. I'm not telling the criminals something. Y'all don't think I'm breaking news here.
No.
Because they knew this months ago or a year ago.
Yeah. You can't be too careful. I always like to park next to a window where I can sit and see my car at all times. But I know that's not always possible,
Right.
But I do like to do that usually, especially if I'm, by myself or just got my little boy with me.
You brought that up. I don't normally get ugly with nobody, but we'd bought somebody a TV and we were in my truck and we wanted to sit by the window to see it, and they wouldn't let me sit by the window. And we got up and left.
Really?
I ain't got to eat with you if you're going to be that ugly. That was here locally. Might have been on Highway 1180.
Okay.
Well, there you go there. I didn't name the name of the restaurant, but it was uncalled for.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, so I don't eat with them anymore. And since Chino ain't opened on Sunday, boy, I sure got an issue now. It's tough finding a place to do. Let's see. You hate to see these things, but there's mean people in this world. Thought I'd share this picture here. This happened. This was in Manhattan. We'll call it New York City. Same thing there. A homeless guy goes out and sets a Christmas tree on fire. In front of the News Corp Manhattan headquarters. Fox News employees watched it burn. Look at this. Why would you do this? It's Christmas.
Yeah. People are just sorry. They don't care.
So that's one of the headlines across America this morning there. Let's see. Alec Baldwin threw a fit. We brought him up a few minutes ago. A reporter asked him, he made in that comment that he didn't shoot the gun. So the reporter goes, well, how did the gun go off? Well, he starts, you know how Alec does, and starts kind of chase the guy. Got real ugly last night. He's not a nice person.
Well, I mean, I think that's crazy. The gun is in your hand. It goes off. It is your problem. You know what I'm saying? It's you. I don't care if he pulled the hammer back, like he said, and then let the hammer go, and then the gun went off. It still went off. And I still believe that I believe he was set up by somebody, because they said that there's never any live ammunition on the set. So,
somebody put it in there.
Yeah, I think somebody put it in there on purpose. I think somebody put it in there to, make this happen.
Could be.
But still, it doesn't matter.
He had the gun, and he wasn't even.
You had the gun.
He was not even supposed to draw the gun in that scene, and he did anyway.
It is definitely his problem to deal with.
Folks, we have somebody that is pouting in Washington, D.C. today. They're upset. You know how little kids will go in a corner and just stomp their feet and do this? Biden sent out a team yesterday because he's upset, because he feels the media is not treating him fairly. Right how Uncle Donald felt.
Yeah, why don't he call why don't he call Don?
He sent them out and sent them to all the major networks and said, be nicer to Biden because he's really a good guy. Let's see. Gas is at an all-time high. You can't afford a loaf of bread, and you can't get anything off the shelves. I wonder why people are being mad and mean to you.
Yeah, I think he's really gotten, I think he's had it good. I mean, compared to the last administration. I mean, he's really had it good. All of them really have. Because I know everybody kind of took a beating. You know, the press secretary lady, what is her name? The one she's running for governor.
What's her face? Huckabee.
Huckabee, yeah, Huckabee's daughter.
Sarah.
They really beat her in the ground as far as like
heart.
Emotionally beat her in the ground, calling her, about her weight and
you don't
questioning her, mothering skills and I mean just everything.
Peggy Simmons says, "Poor Brandon." That's funny. I don't care who you are. Also there. We kept hearing that Biden was going to be Mr. Tough Guy yesterday as he had a meeting with Putin. He was going to step up and be the man. Mm-hmm. They were shaking and waving at each other when I saw the interview. I don't know if anybody else caught that. Nothing really come of that, and we knew there wasn't.
I think he's not buddy with Putin and China.
He ain't tough.
I just think he's in cahoots.
I think there's a lot of people that agree with you on that China statement right there.
Yeah.
We worry about things like that. It's our job to pass it along, the real truth of what really goes on out there. You take it for what it is, we'll deliver it to you, and you decide whether you agree or not. That's the way it works there. Sarah. That was it.
Yeah.
Sarah Huckabee, and she had another last name, which is blank for whatever reason. I can't remember.
I don't know. Anyway.
But she's a sweet lady. She's going to be running for Arkansas governor like her daddy did. Most likely.
Hopefully she'll get it.
Yeah, I think she will. Maple's one-stop shop, that's where you'll find them. They've got 4 locations scattered across town, bringing you the absolute lowest gas prices that they can at all the locations there. This is a friendly place to drop into if you're going to be in the neighborhood of North Hills, as you get to go inside and check out the cold coffee machine there with the caramel, vanilla, French mocha, all that kind of stuff. And for the folks that we've mentioned several times that are hooked on this, the Loyalty Coffee Program. Your 6th cup of coffee is free. Now, it's going to be clean every time you go in. I've yet to walk in one that didn't look spotless. They're always on this.
That's right. Super clean.
If you need a cold drink, you're looking for a candy bar to where you're not as mean as you were, and you want to try out that to where you're not somebody else and be Roseanne Barr, go get you a Snickers.
Yeah. I think I was like that when I had to go to that doctor's appointment.
It does make
and I couldn't eat for a day.
But it does make you seem a little bit ugly if your stomach is growling.
Look, don't take my food or my sleep because I'm going to be hangry and really upset with you.
They'll fix you up.
Very hangry.
Yes.
With that moon pie to make you feel better about yourself. You may gain a little weight, but that's okay. You're going to be happy. That's all that matters. And they've got lunch for as low as $4.99. Pizza, chips, and a fountain drink. See them there. You'll see this with the bait shop if you're going fishing, or you need a lottery ticket to give to a friend. Maybe you want to keep it for yourself, but be nice. It's Christmas. Check it out. 4 locations in town, the Bonita Chevron or the Pine Springs Country Store. You can drop into the Last Chance Tobacco or Broadmoor Chevron. See them. It's Maple's one-stop shop, locally owned and operated right here in Meridian.
I'm Janet from Jackson, Mississippi, and it took one call, that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. He got me $377,250.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Boy, this has been a fast hour. We've got 3 minutes before we have to depart from you. And let's ask our special guest. Wendy, how have we done? Have you enjoyed yourself up here with us today?
I have. This has been great. Nothing like what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be hung up by the toes and tortured, but no, it's been great.
Wasn't so bad, huh? As we look at, we brought this guy up 3 days in a row. Remember the CEO that fired 900 people at one time?
Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Oh, he is like the devil.
He's bad.
He had all these 900 people go on a Zoom call, and then he, for his company. And then once they're on there, he says, if you're on this call, you no longer are an employee of ours.
Wow.
So he fires them like on the call.
Yeah. Yesterday, we got the story that he'd been real ugly to his business partner, threatened to staple him to a wall and set him on fire. Today, we find out that, not everybody in the company liked what he'd done to the other employees, and 4 top officials have resigned, and they're expecting more people to leave his company. He's turning out to be like the bad guy in America.
Yeah.
900 people at Christmas. You want to talk about Scrooge? This guy's it.
Well, anytime. I mean, people are, I can't imagine being on a Zoom call.
But that's
you're fired.
But that's heartless at this time of year. I mean, even the meanest people that I know that I particularly don't like have waited till January 1st after you spent all your money at Christmas and you didn't know that you were going to lose your job and you're in debt, lose your job.
Maybe all of them will quit, everybody, and leave him high and dry. That would be good.
We'll see.
What type of company was it?
Better.com is what it was.
Oh, okay.
I think it dealt
A
with
marketing type company.
So there, we're coming up to the near of our time. Don't forget, I want to say that the Christmas, we've got barely enough time to get this in if I can find it in time. There it is. This is on sale today. I thought I'd bring this up. Bell Cookbooks, check those out. They're going to be available today.
Yes.
So don't do that.
Great Christmas present. So go by and get you one.
We'll be back tomorrow morning. Our time is up. Matlock is coming up. You'll be able to watch him. Come back and join us. We'll be here all day with breaking news stories. Thank you. You want to say goodbye?
Yes, I do. Thank y'all for joining us today. We'll be back at 8 a.m. in the morning, so don't miss it.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by